Russ, can you tell me a little bit more about this incredible growth that you've seen?
Absolutely. So in just a year and a half, we've gone from 0 to 35 sales development reps, which has really driven the growth of the company from 23 to 140 people today.
Wow.
So we use inside sales, for example, to really understand what's working and what's not. And I'll give you, one anecdote here, and that's 37%. That actually is the percentage uplift that we saw in our conversation rate by using the PowerDialer in a tool that's known as local presence, which basically allows us to make calls into any area code around the country, and it looks like we're calling from that area code. And so as a result of all of this, we've been able to triple our sales.
Wow, that's incredible. What other aspects of this has helped you manage your team?
Well, we use the dashboards, and so I'm constantly hitting refresh all the time to see what's updated. But the real-time view of the analytics and data in Salesforce that's coming out of this application has helped me understand who the top performers are, who might be kind of struggling a little bit. So if someone is speaking to a lot of people, but they're not booking a lot of demos, those types of data points I have at my fingertips, and so I can coach them. So I do one-on-ones with all 35 every week, which is about 3 days out of the week. And so we use that data that's coming out of those reports that's in the dashboards, and I use that really to coach them to help make them more successful.
And are there any other data that you found as far as like staffing or anything else that helps you make your team more successful?
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things that we found was like what were the optimal times of the day and what were the optimal days of the week to make calls. And so from some of the data that we've collected, we've seen that it's best to call from 6 to 7:30 in the morning if you're calling from the West Coast to the East Coast. We've also found which countries are most responsive to our cold calls. For example, we know that the call to connect and the connect to demo rate for the UK is about 2x what it is in the US because they don't have interactive voice response systems. So we're using all of this data to optimize not only our reps' performance to make them more successful, which is really my #1 job, but also to inform our staffing decisions, inform our compensation and quota setting decisions.
That's incredible. So it does apply globally. That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. That helps you manage your team globally. Are there any other things that you use on a day-to-day basis to help you manage your team?
Yeah, I mean, other than the dashboards that we use, quite a bit, we're using challenges. So there's something that's known as gamification. It's kind of a buzzword, but within InsideSales.com, there's a tool that's called a Throwdown. So one of my reps who does this all the time, his name's Christian, he'll issue a throwdown to one of the other sales development reps. And it might be something as simple as like whoever gets to 60 calls first, buys beer or vice versa. And that's been incredibly effective in terms of not only inspiring the competition, the competitive spirit that you like to see in a sales team, but it also makes those reps much more engaged. And as a result of that, our turnover is just really low. And so I think the combination of the tools, the processes, the leadership has allowed our reps to become, really successful and reach their full potential.